Let's look at all the buttons, from the left to the right. When this machine is on, in-feed conveyor should always be around 90–100%. If you have it at 0, look at that conveyor over there. Point at this conveyor. Look at how slow this is running. Look at my finger. Really slow. If I put it on 100, it's running quickly. You want this around 90 to 100. There's no reason to have it running slow. If you want to stop the machine, the best way is just to press manual mode. But if it's running and you need to stop in an emergency, you can hit the E-stop. It's not a problem. It's just to turn it back on, you actually have to turn that, hit reset, and then turn that off. So the easiest way to turn it off is just to turn it like that. When it's running and you try and advance film, it will not run film. When it's running, if you try and seal, it will not seal. You have to be in manual mode to seal. And you have to be in manual mode to advance film. See that film is moving there? And then you can manually seal with 2 buttons. But in automatic mode, nothing happens when you hit those buttons. However, in automatic mode, if you block this eye with your hand or with the product, it will pull film and it will automatically seal. So if I block this eye, it pulls film. See that? If I block this eye too long, the machine will shut off. Watch this. It should. It faulted out because something got stuck under the eye and the machine will turn off. That happens, go to manual mode, seal off the film, and just start back up again. Hopefully it doesn't run for no reason. Let's look and see what the buttons do. Main. Okay, jaw dwell is how long the arm stays down. So when I seal this, show the jaw, it stays down for 0.6 of a second. If I change this to like 10 seconds or 18 seconds, 1.8 seconds, let's do that. Watch how long it stays down. If I change it to 4 seconds, watch how long the jaw stays down. It stays down 4 seconds. We found that with this film you're running, that 0.6 of a second works good. So press change setting, press 6, so it ends up at 0.60 seconds, and then hit enter, and now the jaw stays down the right amount of time. Fault, it just tells you what the faults are. Product spacing is how far after it sees the end of the package does it seal. So let me show you this. This is interesting. Okay. So we might edit this, but the first one may not come out so good, but watch this. Film the second one. Film it like right here. Okay. Now you'll notice on this package that I have this much extra film. Now, if I take product spacing and I change that number to 6 inches, change setting, 6 inches, okay? Again, I always like to show the second package because the first one doesn't always do exactly what you want it to do. But watch the second one. So you want to film in there? Let's see what this does. Okay. That made a giant bag. See that? So we found that product spacing on your product is 3 inches is good. If I make it 1 inch, you have to press change setting, 1 inch, chances are it's going to hit your product. Watch. Again, don't worry about the first package because that doesn't always show what happens. But watch what happens on the second one. It may even hit the first one, but it's definitely going to hit the second one. All right, it should hit this one. Yeah, did you see that? Okay, now this is great because this is a fault, and we need to clear faults every once in a while. So what you do, when this is open, no one can get hurt. Look, I can press manual seal, I can go to manual mode, I can do this. The only thing that can happen is if I press control reset, I still can't seal, but I can advance film. So just look what happened. It kind of pulled the product out of there. Can you film in there? The package that got stuck got out. Now I can't seal it because I don't want to get my hand in there and anyone to hurt me. But if I close the hood, I can now do a manual seal and get the product out that got stuck. And we knew they were going to get stuck because product spacing was set too low. It was too small of a bag. So I'm going to change that to 3. And now that should work fine. I think the rest of the numbers on this, machine config, the password for this machine is you have to press change setting and then 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. And then this machine only has a vertical eye, so we don't do anything with that. So we press the next arrow, and then it says horizontal eye disabled. That's true. There's no horizontal eye. Closing conveyor is enabled. Let me show you what the closing conveyor is. Can you film right in here? When I turn the machine on, closing conveyor goes in and out. You see that? Come where I am, actually. Is it showing that going in and out? Okay. Now, if I disable that, machine config, change setting, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter, and I do closing conveyor, and I change it. Wait, closing conveyor, and I change it to disabled, then that never closes. Look, it's always stuck as open. The space between here is always open. Your soap will always fall through. So in your case, anyone ever changes that, you want to make sure. I hit that. I wish that thing wasn't on. That the closing conveyor is enabled. So you press toggle and you make sure it's enabled and you hit enter. Now when I turn this on, that'll open and close, and that's what I want. That's very important. Okay. Let's see if there's any other things on here. Machine configuration, change setting, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. We've got vertical eye. We've got closing conveyor. Okay, auto reverse I have disabled. You only really need auto reverse on a really tall package. We can talk about that if you ever need it. Print registration, this machine does not use printed film. The hot knife, it is a hot knife machine and that is enabled, that's fine. Means hot wire jaw is disabled, which is also fine. And this does not have high-speed conveyors, it has standard conveyors. So machine config, everything on there is perfect. Eye delays, it's 1/100th of a second after the photo eye right here sees a product, does it start pulling film. So if I put my hand under this, it immediately starts pulling film. If I change that to, say, 20 or 2 seconds, watch what happens when I block this eye. Nothing happens for a full 2 seconds, then it starts pulling film. You don't want that. You want that to be as small as possible. So I'm going to change that to make it what it was, which is 0.1. Okay? Eye off delay is fine at 0.1, and that's all there is with that. Hole punch, this machine does not have a hole punch because it's got the pinhole perforators, which are right there, that are putting holes in the film, so there's no hole punch. And convey, I'm going to leave that on 0. Let's go to the next thing. Convey, discharge, start, delay. There's no delays. Okay, discharge, stop, delay. what this does is, can you film this conveyor right here? Can you go over there and film it? Pretend we're running a product. This conveyor is running. It's going to run for 5 seconds, and then it's going to stop. Stop. Got it? So it runs, seals, and then it'll run for 5 seconds, and then it stops. And that's just to save the life of this conveyor belt. So 5 seconds is fine. It gives this product enough time to get all the way into the tunnel. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now this conveyor is going to stop. That's already made it in the tunnel. So there's no real reason for that conveyor to run longer. Auto reverse delay is, again, if we were running tall packages and we want this thing to back up, you do not want that on this machine. Leave these numbers factory set. Closing conveyor extend delay at 0.35 and closing conveyor flight timer 1.25 seconds. Leave those the way they are. Pre-feed time is very important. That's how much film does this machine shoot out before it sees the next package. So can you film right in there? Watch. No, right here, right where I was, right there. After it runs a package, it's going to seal and then it's going to feed more film. Watch. Watch, it's going to seal. Now watch it feed more film right there. It fed a little bit. If I change that number, here, go here. If I change that number to, let's say, 55. Okay? Keep filming here. I need a bar of soap. Watch what happens when it's done sealing. Watch how much film it shoots out. Can you see that? I don't know if you saw that. It shot out way too much film ahead of the package.
Yeah.
It shot out this much film ahead. You don't want that. So that pre-feed time of, what was it, 15? Seems to be perfect. Because now, just enough to get the film slack enough to make a good package. Perfect. So we'll toggle through that. That's it. That's the key. Is that setting right there is very important. Is pre-feed time. The other very important setting is that product spacing number, which is 3 inches. Those two determine the size of your bag. When you're done, turn that off. When your scrap is full, you can turn this off. Are you filming me? You open this up. This comes off. The scrap comes off. Like that. Usually you only have to change the roll of scrap every time you change a roll of film. Put this back on. You tighten this little handle here. Did I go the right way? That is tight, Stevie, right? Okay. This goes in here, and you just turn it back on, and it's winding up. What else? Okay, there's a couple of handles that you can adjust on this machine. I don't know if it'll show it very well, but if I turn this handle, watch what happens to the jaw here. So I'm going to turn this handle. You should see that going up. Is that going up?
What should be going up?
The whole knife. Like if you film from right here, look. From right here, it's going up. And if I turn it down, it's going down. You only want that about as high as the package height. You don't want to waste time. If you have the jaw really high, there's no reason for it. Same with this. Let me show you this. This needs to get through right here. So I can turn this and go higher. for taller soaps. Or I can go low, but you don't want to go so low that it hits it and gets stuck. So you want it just to where it clears. That's that. Same with this table. This table is adjustable. Let me show you this here. Little handle here. In. Show up here, there's like a bigger gap or smaller. If you were running something really small, you could go like this. If you were running something like really big, you could go like that. But for this product, we'll set it up about here. Give yourself like about a finger or two of room. And then you tighten this up. One more thing that's important, I just know that sometimes people make this mistake. This handle here, this is just for threading of the film. When I pull this out, film right here, this opens to make it, actually I have to make it by itself. This opens to make it easy for you to thread the film in here. But when you're done, you have to close it so there's no space here. If you're running and that's open, the bar of soap won't fit here. This isn't set up right. So you need to pull on this handle, close that all the way so there's no space here, and you're ready to run. Hit stop.